In Nagasaki, 1875, amidst celebrations, Tokyugawa clan member Keishiro Tokyugawa and his friend Kyusuke are about to fight in the battle that will unify Japan. Keishiro is about to wield his massive hammer. However, the enemy and their giant steam-powered robots fall to their knees, raising banners stating that they give up and that he is their leader. The celebrations continue in honor of Keishiro's swift conquest over the Kayama Alliance. A man from the Kayama Alliance, Torimaru, offers boss Keishiro a cake with the words "Congratulations on uniting Nagasaki" on it. The men of the Kayama Alliance are now under boss Keishiro's protection. Behind a frame, a beautiful woman is revealed. According to Torimaru, she has the biggest cup size on the island, causing many men in the room to hound over her, including Kyusuke, but she offers herself only to Keishiro. Keishiro suddenly gets a violent outburst and knocks the table with his giant hammer. He points the fingers at Torimaru, who dares to call himself a kabukimono. Keishiro is angered by the fact that he waved the white flag before they even started to battle, and declares that it was not a fight but just cowardice. Another member of the alliance claims that there was no way they could beat Keishiro, and Torimaru says that having time with the woman would be more fun than fighting. The woman claims that it is her first time, so she requests Keishiro to be gentle. But Keishiro, in major rage, runs out of the building. Meanwhile, a man pleads that he is not a virgin, and a woman draws out a katana and kills him. Keishiro discusses his victories in Nagasaki with Kyusuke. There are no enemies left for him in this city. Suddenly something hits Keishiro's head. It's his gran, Otomi, telling them not to slack off and to get back to stirring the hot water at the cherry blossom baths, a bathhouse that Otomi owns. He sees male customers walking by laughing at him and is frustrated that no one will fight him. He then sees a man running towards him and believes the man has guts for wanting to fight. But the man clutches Keishiro's legs, begging to be saved. The woman from before draws her knife, and Keishiro tells her to stop waving it around. Keishiro is confused, and the Nagasaki police arrive at the scene. They prepare to arrest him, so he attempts to point his fingers at the woman, but she has disappeared. Upon seeing the man, they suspect Keishiro is a rapist. Keishiro is thrown out of the Nagasaki police office. He is now a suspect for the ongoing house murderer case. He vows to find the woman in order to prove he is innocent. When Kyusuke asks Keishiro to describe the woman, Keishiro mentions she had huge melon, which Kyusuke relates to the girl at the bathhouse when they were celebrating their victory. The woman goes the female part of the cherry blossom baths. Otomi stares at the woman using her left eye. Keishiro comes to baths to find the woman. Kyusuke suggests a different method than randomly opening doors and scaring the women attending. At the police station, yet another victim has been found. The officer still thinks Keishiro is into men. When his subordinate says the victim was killed during the middle of the act, the officer thinks he meant that Keishiro was sleeping with the victim. His subordinate then says that someone saw a person wearing a bright red kimono. Still fixated on Keishiro being the murderer, the officer believes Keishiro is also cross-dressing. Kyusuke uses his mechanical binoculars to find the murderer. Kyusuke asks not to put them on the same level as something so tasteless and explains that there is a complex system of mirrors that bounces images back to the peephole. Keishiro finds the woman with the largest melon. She notices this and throws soap so hard, it breaks the lens. The woman confronts Keishiro and Kyusuke. He demands that she will come with him to the cops to prove his innocence. She drops a smoke bomb and asks Keishiro some questions, and puts his hand on her right melon. The smoke clears and Kyusuke sees that his boss is unconscious. Later at the men's baths, he pours buckets of water on Keishiro. Then the officer arrives, with two subordinates to arrest Keishiro. Keishiro immediately jumped out the window and chased after the woman. He caught up with the woman and suddenly changed her clothes. Keishiro tried to attack the woman, but the woman dodged and attacked someone else. Then the ninjas fell. Then she threw a shuriken, allowing the woman hiding to come out. The woman with purple ninja suit says she is not the responsible for the murders. She is. The woman reveals herself named Hakuen, and admitting that he killed the man, then jump on a robot called Onigami. The policeman arrives with their robot and is prepared to capture the true murderer. The woman with purple ninja suit says they need to get the bathhouse, before revealing that her name is Kuriko and that the Iga ninja sent her to protect him. Then she says that Keishiro are being chased, since the shogun in Edo has fallen. Otomi suddenly throws a seal case. Then she says Kuriko is telling the truth, and the reason they attacked Keishiro had to do with his secret of his birth and seal case. Their conversation is interrupted by the arrival of Hakuen with her Onigami. Kuriko claims that Keishiro do not know the body of a woman, and never even touched one, that he is a virgin. That is the sign that he is a Tokyugawa, and the power that will allow you to awaken it. After he saw the girls, the seal case glow, and suddenly a robot appeared under the bathhouse. According to Kuriko, only a real virgin of the Tokyugawa bloodline is qualified to pilot the Onigami. Then Hakuin started to attack, but Onigami grabbed her weapon and unleashed a strong punch, causing Hakuin to retreat for now. Some masochist is begging for Chiharu to step on him. She gets mad and transforms into her true demon fox form to give him some pain. Kuriko's lecturing Keishiru especially about him being a virgin and his curse of breaking into hives, and then passing out when coming into contact with women. She views his ability to pilot Susanoo crucial and is here to protect his virginity. Otomi knows that Kuriko was sent here to also help pilot Susanoo, although a man's virginity is needed. Because of his virginity curse, Keishiru can't touch a woman. To work off stress and hopefully find a girlfriend, Keishiru and Kyusuke enter a red light district to lose it. Learning Chiharu is the top girl around, they request for her. Chiharu gets steamy with him when Kuriko barges in. While they're arguing about her more concerning about his virginity than his body, Chiharu stole his wallet. But outside the police head is going to arrest her because the man reported her for stealing his money. She beats up the cops with her nunchakus and steals their wallets too, and before she can do the same to the man, he takes out a knife. Keishiru cuts in and doesn't like what he sees. The man rants about Chiharu being a monster, who will do all sorts of nasty things to get your money. Chiharu is going to kill him in her true demon fox form, but Keishiru stops her. Surprisingly, he won't raise a hand to her and dares her to come at him. She takes up his offer, but it is a plan to recover every stolen wallet. He returns the wallets to the rightful owners, and tells the man to get everyone out of here. Chiharu laments her unfortunate situation. Born between a human and animal, for the last 250 years people has always looked down on her, and hated her. Everyone who approached her always plotted something. So she decided to live in the shadows and do this kind of stuff. Keishiru lectures her about doing it wrong. She might not be able to do something about the curse when she was born, but if she curses the way she lives, she'll just be miserable. He doesn't care about curses, and she should live with her face held high and someday the sun will smile upon her. He gives her his wallet if that is what she wants. It's empty. So back at the bathhouse, now it is his turn to get lectured by Kuriko despite she was praising him earlier on. Suddenly Chiharu pops up and is all over him, and hives appeared all over his body. She quit her red light district job, and she is now coming here to work as a maid, after Otomi hired her. She might not look like it, but she's a virgin too. By daytime, Kuriko surprised Keishiro and tells him to have breakfast with her, as he makes an unusual facial expression. When Keishiro went to clean the men baths, Chiharu comes behind to flirt with Keishiro, blowing a kiss towards his way. Keishiro breaks into hives, when Kuriko appears and holds Chiharu hostage, as she reveals a dagger to her. Kuriko told Chiharu that she shouldn't cling on to Keishiro. Chiharu brings up what is wrong about clinging on to the person that she loves. Kuriko constantly reminds her that Keishiro will rule the country and someone like her shouldn't be in his presence. Keishiro walks out, and moments later he decided to be in the hot springs, relaxing as Chiharu joined him, when he instantly breaks into hives. Not knowing that Kuriko was under the waters and popped up, breaking up what both Keishiro and Chiharu had going on. While Chiharu bolts off, Kuriko tells Keishiro about being more responsible and constantly reminding him that he's going to be the next shogun someday. Getting Keishiro riled up, he instantly told off Kuriko, annoying him about his clan as he told her that he likes Chiharu a lot more than her, making him storm off and leaving Kuriko by herself. Later on in the night, Kuriko is seen in her room reminiscing about earlier, of what Keishiro had mentioned to her in the men baths as she listened to someone call her name. Turning out to be Keishiro, he asked her to join him at Kaido Bridge, which she agrees. Kyusuke is then seen keeping a watchful eye out on Kuriko on the rooftop. Then he notices Kuriko walked out of the bathroom to meet Keishiro. Kyusuke alerts Chiharu and instantly wakes up, and bolts off to see Keishiro in his room sleeping when she goes to wake him up. Kuriko is then seen to be with Keishiro at the foot of Kaido Bridge as he swiftly withdraws a weapon to attack Kuriko with it, making her withdraw her hairpin. Kuriko then tells the person that Keishiro cares nothing for her, and that she knew that the person was an imposter all along. Making the enemy take off the clothing, she quickly got Kuriko in grapple and tells Kuriko that they'll take her body and use it to get closer to Keishiro. Kuriko then responded to her if that's the only thing she has up her sleeve, when instantly Kuriko lands her Iga secret technique, Hanashibu. Knocking Tsubaki on the ground, Kuriko then forced Tsubaki to speak about who Hakuin was to her, and who Hakuin serves, which Tsubaki ended up telling Kuriko everything. Listening to a loud boom, Kuriko bolts off, leaving Tsubaki on Kaido Bridge. Meantime, Chiharu hugging him, he broke out in hives again as he nervously hugged her back, doing his best to ignore his hives. As it was Hakuin who created the loud boom, along with her Onigami to take over as she begins smashing buildings apart to seek for Susanoo. As both Keishiro and Chiharu spots Hakuin's Onigami, Chiharu asks about the puppet and Keishiro tells her that he's seen it before, having his war hammer in his hand, ready to fight her without his Onigami. Hakuin points out that he's weak and a virgin, making Keishiro and Chiharu get into a quick friendly argument about him being a virgin. Hakuin then lectures Keishiro about speaking of defeating her if he haven't known of a woman when she whacks him into a wall. As he ends up being near Kuriko, she quickly speaks to him about Hakuin and how she was sent to slay him, making her handing him his seal so he can use Susanoo. Even though he didn't want to use the seal, he used it anyways, and becomes easily frustrated while he had a difficult start to control the large Onigami. As Kuriko watched nearby, she then tells Keishiro that only 2 people could bring Susanoo together when she asks him to let her inside while Keishiro responds, saying that Susanoo doesn't listen to him. Seconds later, Susanoo ended up choosing Chiharu, while she happily with Keishiro, making Kuriko yell at her to tell her to get out, which Chiharu rejected. Afterwards, Susanoo ended up transforming into Explosion Passion Beast, with the merge of Chiharu. Both Keishiro and Chiharu temporarily defeated Hakuin as she mentions that it would be a waste to defeat them within the area and she flies off with her Onigami. A little later within the night, Chiharu is seen clinging on to Keishiro as usual when Kuriko and Otomi watches. Otomi then tells Kuriko that Chiharu may be the person who might be fated with Keishiro as Kuriko replies that her mission is to awaken the power of Susanoo, and how if Chiharu is the one who wields it, then he left as Tsubaki is hidden behind a tree, watching Kuriko stroll off in sadness as she is seen being pleased. Thank you for watching. I only covered 1 to 3 episodes, and please don't forget to subscribe.